Welcome to this session where we talk about some numerical problems on SVD. Now we have seen already four factorization techniques before SVD, namely LU, Cholesky, then spectral decomposition, QR decomposition, and then finally SVD. So there's a bigger purpose for doing SVD. We want to understand principal component analysis, a very valuable tool for dimensionality reduction. Of course, PCA is not within the scope of this lecture series, but I'm going to take you on a small tour of how we must do an SVD using one or two examples. Now, when the matrix is not symmetric, then the factorization A is equal to U sigma V transpose will have U and V as orthogonal and sigma is non-negative diagonal-like matrix. The diagonal entries of sigma are called the singular values, which will be the square roots of the eigenvalues of A into A transpose or A transpose into A. Of course, the student will understand easily that the sigma matrix will share the same dimensions as the matrix A. Now, to make things simple for you, I am just repeating the set of rules which govern the SVD process. So the given matrix A is given, it can have any structure, it can be square or rectangular. But in general, the first step is to compute A into A transpose and A transpose A. The second step is to find the eigenvalues and eigenvectors of both A into A transpose and A transpose into A. And then the eigenvectors of A into A transpose, normalized eigenvectors, will form the columns of U. Similarly, the matrix V will consist of the orthogonal or orthonormalized eigenvectors of A transpose into A. And then the singular matrix or the matrix of singular values denoted by sigma will consist of the square roots of the eigenvalues of A into A transpose or A transpose A along its diagonal. And of course, it is suggested that the singular values are arranged in the descending order, otherwise it is not applicable. Then finally write the SVD. Now let us take up a very simple matrix. It's a toy example. Now A is a 2 by 3 matrix with very simple entries 1 1 0 and 0 0 1. So we find out there are two ways of doing an SVD. First is to separately find out A into A transpose A, and you can follow the procedure. Otherwise, I'm giving you an alternative. You start with A transpose into A. Of course, it will be positive semi-definite at least, and then get the eigenvalues. You'll get 2, 1, and 0. And the corresponding eigenvectors will be 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, minus 1, 1, 0. And I think Gram-Schmidt has entered this. They are orthogonal now. No, Gram-Schmidt is really not required because 2, 1, 0 are all distinct eigenvalues. So the vectors will be mutually orthogonal naturally. Then you normalize them into unit vectors. And the singular value of A will be the square roots of the eigenvalues of A into A transpose. So because 2, 1, 0 happen to be the eigenvalues, take the square roots, you'll get root 2, 1, and 0. So now once this is done, we can quickly build the sigma matrix. Remember, the sigma matrix will have the same order as A, but ensure that the eigenvalues are on the diagonal, so root 2 and 1, others being 0. And then V will be of order 3 by 3. And then you store the eigenvectors of A transpose A along the columns, and that's the matrix V. And now if you want to compute the matrix U, you can use the procedure U1 is equal to 1 by sigma 1 times AV1, where sigma 1, of course, should be the non-zero eigenvalue, and U2 is equal to 1 by sigma 2 of A times V2, that is 0 and 1. So the matrix U should have order 2 by 2, therefore these two vectors are sufficient. So 1, 0 and 0, 1 will form the columns of U. And then you write the SVD, A is equal to U into sigma into V transpose, and then you can also cross check by actual hand calculation. So this is a way that is popularly used to find out the SVD. That is, you find the matrix A transpose A, then get the eigenvalues of that, eigenvectors of that, store them in V, then construct the sigma matrix, and then find out the matrix U through the special procedure explained above. Now let us take a second example. Now this is a tall matrix 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1. It's a 3 by 2 matrix. And then we find out A transpose A. You can see it is a 2 by 2 matrix. It gives us two eigenvalues 3 and 1. Corresponding eigenvectors are distinct and orthogonal. And the singular values will be root 3 and 1. And then the normalized eigenvectors will be 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2, minus 1 by root 2, and 1 by root 2. So the matrix V is built using the columns. And of course, sigma will be the same order as the matrix A. So you use root 3 and 1 along the diagonal, keeping others as 0. And then as before, you find out the matrix U by the previous process. That is, U1 is equal to 1 by sigma 1 times AV1, and U2 is 1 by sigma 2 times AV2. And then you can use the Gram-Schmidt process to build the third one, and then the matrix U is also complete. Otherwise, if you want to build U, you find out A into A transpose, get the eigenvalues, eigenvectors of that, and then store them in the columns of U. And then you write the SVD of this, and then you can also verify. So these two examples will help you to understand how to work on rectangular matrices and their SVD. One is a rectangular matrix of 2 by 3 order, and the second one is an example of a 3 by 2 matrix. Of course, several cases are there. We can talk about square matrices, again, in which there are two cases. The matrix A is already symmetric, and then the matrix A is not symmetric. So all of them, more or less, you can use the same procedure. The only thing is when you have the matrix A, which is symmetric, then the matrices U and V will be identical to each other. So the computational time will come down. But in other cases, you will have to go through the entire process. So I hope this lecture on SVD has been understood.